Hey, I'm Tobias Wilhelm, business coach and consultant, and I want to talk to you a little bit about starting your own business. I do a business class that's called Startup Roadmap, where we basically go step by step for 2 days through everything you need to know about starting your own business. I've been asked to basically condense it down a little bit to sort of go over the basics, so this is what we'll do in these videos. First of all, the question, of course, is why would you want to start your own business? And in my opinion, it's important to inspire people to be in business because it's a whole lot more honest as far as your chances of success are concerned. If you think about it, we're in schools telling kids they should be artists, they should be entertainers, they should be athletes. But the number of people that can actually make it as an athlete, that can make it as an entertainer in this country, there's probably maybe a couple of thousand. And there is millions of small businesses that build wealth every single day. So if we want to inspire people to be anything and do something and strike out on their own, I think we should do it and inspire them to be in business. Besides, if you think about it, what if the next idea to an Amazon or an Apple is locked up in somebody's head that doesn't know that they're allowed to be in business and allowed to want to be something. So I want you to be in business. I think it's a great opportunity. I've basically been in business my whole life. The first thing you want to start out with is you have to have an idea. And there's tons of ideas. Everybody is good at something. You know, some people are good at making cupcakes or managing social media, or they're good at writing, or they're good at art. And all of those are business opportunities. You have to just pick which one, and then you have to figure out how much time you want to invest in them. Like, do you want to start out going full-time? Do you want it to be a side hustle? Do you want it to be part-time? Sometimes the side hustles, as they call them, where it's like, okay, so you just making a little bit of money on the side, and that's okay. And sometimes they can turn into a full-time thing, and sometimes they'll always be a side hustle, and that's fine too. But I think there's some great opportunities out there, and I think everybody has some great ideas, and I want you to be one of those people. So once you decided what the idea is that you want to take into your own small business, then we want to vet the idea, try to figure out, okay, what is the problem we're solving, or how are we making people feel better about themselves? Because, you know, that's basically at the heart of every business. You're either solving a problem or you're making somebody feel better, and that's what they're paying you for. Sometimes both. So you want to figure out how many people have that particular problem that you're solving, and if they're willing to pay you to solve it for them. So for example, you know, I really don't like cleaning. I might pay somebody to come to my house or clean. So that's my pain. It's, if you're wanting to go into the cleaning business, then, you know, we might already have something where I'm willing to pay for it. So you want to figure out who your quote-unquote market is. And by the way, grandma doesn't count. My grandmother was always very supportive of what I was trying to do. She never quite understood what I was doing. Didn't quite understand that I could come home and, you know, not be dirty and still make money. So my poor grandmother really never quite understood, always was very supportive. So those don't count. You want to make sure that there's people that don't know you that are having this problem that you're solving, or that want to feel better about themselves. So you want to make sure that your business idea is not already out there and being done. If it's already out there, then you have to figure out what it is you're doing better, or what you're doing faster, or whatever it is. You want to have that one thing that you're doing different from everyone else that's already doing it. And by the way, price is really not where you want to be. It's easy to sit here and say, hey, I can do this cheaper, but you really don't want to be that person that's competing on price, because it's not fun to always try and be the cheapest, and there's always somebody out there that wants to be just a little bit cheaper and is willing to cut just a little bit more off the price. And ultimately, you don't want to try and compete with Walmart, because it's just not a fun thing to do. You can be the faster, you could be better quality, you could be whatever it might be, but you know, price is usually not a point where you want to be. So once you have your business idea, then, and it's vetted, then you want to take it to the concept. The difference between your idea and the actual concept is the idea is somewhat the 20,000 foot, this is what I want to do, that ends up going into your business plan. The concept is when you actually start drilling down a little bit and figure out, okay, so this is who my perfect customer would be. This is the kind of space I would need if I need a space. This is my market. This is when they're coming to me. This is how often they buy. This is how often they need me. So all of that is answers that you want to get really into detail on your business concept and figure out, you know, who are the people that are buying from me, how many times are they coming back, and so forth. The next thing you want to figure out is, what is my business name? And vetting the business name is incredibly important, because you don't want to open a business and then all of a sudden you find out there's a business with the same name 2-3 towns over, 20 miles away. And you know, you've put a lot of work into something that you now have to rename, or have people saying, well, you know, you stole my idea or whatever. So whenever you decide on your business name, you want to make sure that it's available as some kind of domain name. You want to check it out on social media, you want to Google it, you want to check state and federal trademark registries to make sure that whatever name you came up with is unique enough to where it doesn't already exist in the business that you're in. The other thing you want to make sure is that people can actually spell it. So, you know, if you use a name that's, let's say, Cajun, for example, then just be aware that you may always end up spelling the business name from here until you're selling it or closing it. So, and if that's okay with you, that's perfectly fine. But, you know, it's something that you just need to be aware of, that you want to have something that people can easily turn to Facebook and put in, or turn to Google and put in, and have some kind of idea of how to spell it. The next thing would be your legal structure, and that's the one where I usually just say, okay, you know what, this is really important, but you probably want to talk to an attorney, a attorney friend, somebody that actually knows about legal structures and that you can go and ask some pointed questions to. You know, some people start out with an LLC, some people will start out with an incorporation. You might be able to do it as a sole proprietorship, and the answer to that really depends on your own situation. So, you know, invest paying an attorney for an hour, or if you have an attorney friend, maybe you can trade out some services. But that's the one thing where you want to say, okay, so let me bear my situation to you and just say, okay, so here's where I'm at, this is what I have in assets, and I want to protect them. You want to make sure that something can't come back and bite you further on down the road. So invest in an attorney. That's the one thing that I really want to stress here, is it's really, really important. And I think that's what we'll talk about today. And you know, we'll have a couple of more steps the next time we do this. Done.